Hello and welcome to the world of acting as according to Alison Fitzjohn. This is the second in a new series of videos we're doing where we talk to people from all areas of the arts about what they do and what they're passionate about. So joining us this week is the wonderful Alison Fitzjohn. Hello Alison.
Hiya, gorgeous.
How are you doing?
Yeah, really good, really good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Excited to talk to you.
Oh, very lovely.
So to start off, tell us about how your passion for performing began.
Well, I've always loved it. I think it's something to do with storytelling and something to do with not being yourself. I've loved that kind of going into the magic world. Like when I was 3, I was Angel Gabriel at my Sunday school.
So what was your sort of route into it in terms of what sort of education did you have? How did you kind of get to the point where you were a professional actor?
Well, when I was younger, I went to a drama dance school called Pat Bapper Davis. That was like on Saturday mornings. And then when I really knew that I wanted to go into it, I then did GCSEs, kind of centred towards that. Then I went to do a degree in theatre acting at Bretton Hall, that's kind of based in Leeds, which is actually no longer with us. And luckily, in my final year, we wrote to loads of different agents, about 70 agents, and one of them was a wonderful lady called Philippa Howell, who then became my agent, and I just kind of went into the industry that way, and then she's retired, and I'm now with my second agent.
So once you had your agent, what were the sort of roles you had to begin with? What have been like your good and bad experiences? Are there some jobs that have been like terrible, some that have been great? How did it sort of progress once you got going?
Yeah, I suppose I have had quite a traditional progression in the industry. So I kind of started in the holiday camps. I was like a red coat in the holiday camp. And then I did like a lot of TIE, theatre and education work, kind of going around the schools, going around doing small rural touring around village halls, people that wouldn't necessarily get theatre, actually taking it out to them. So I started out then. I kind of learnt my craft, the true craft after university, you know, kind of how to deal with an audience and the lugging of set and all things like that. I did that at the beginning, washing the costumes, you know, the really glamorous side.
Well, that's 100% what this series is meant to be about. It's not about the kind of glamorous side. It's about like what are the realities for people that are out there like making it happen. So then I think I went up a ladder when I was up the ladder when I was touring with that, because I started going to number 1 venues, such as Bristol Hippodrome and you know, all the kind of the ATG venues, kind of the bigger venues. And then from that, I've actually been able to travel the world with the shows. I've been to Sydney Opera House. I performed Horrible Histories, which is still mental to think that I performed at the Sydney Opera House. I still really find that unbelievable. And then most recently, I kind of wanted a different direction, so I've kind of stopped doing the family theatre for now, and I did the band with Take That, and I'm now focusing on the more TV and film and things like that. So I've just done a musical film, a horror musical film about a taxidermist who she doesn't want to stuff animals anymore. She wants to stuff a human. Excellent. I'm sure you get asked about the band a lot and talk about it a lot. What are the kind of challenges that are different once you get to a production the size and scale of the band? Are there what becomes the problem that was before, maybe, or like?
Well, the challenges are touring, I would say. So you're away from your family, you're away from your things. You live out of a suitcase, so you're very lonely. You can be very lonely, and it can be very lonely when you may be living in somebody else's house, because that's how or a hotel room. You miss things. You miss what you hold dear to you, you know? Especially because especially on the band, there were women on there that were touring that were mums. So they were actually missing their kind of children, So that's a really tough thing. Oh, I was just going to say, there's also real pressure to be social when you're on tour.
Yeah.
And you might go, what? But, you know, you kind of live with these people, you socialise with these people, you kind of eat with these people, you do everything with this team that you're working with. And, you know, sometimes I just don't want to go out after a show, or I don't want to be with the people that I see every day. Although I'm very extroverted in spirit, I'm actually quite introverted. I like time on my own. I like recharging my batteries. So it can be a real challenge sometimes to kind of turn around and go, oh no, I'm not going to come out. And, you know, people go, well, what? You know, saying no to things can be a real challenge, because you're then seen as like, you kind of run the risk of being seen as not part of the group.
So my next question kind of leads on from that.
Yeah.
Was going to be sort of this could be more general if you feel like it, but what advice would you give to a young actor starting out? What's the most important thing for them to think about?
Was my number one bit of advice, well, there's a few things I'd say actually. Number one is try and get as many strings to the bow as you can. You know, and really be good at those things. Don't just do don't be a master. What's the saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. Try and be a master at a few things if you can, but try and be a master as many as that you can, because if you can dance, if you can sing and play a musical instrument and act, there's going to be more opportunities that are available to you in this very saturated industry. So that's my first bit of advice. My second bit of advice is know how tax works. And it's such a boring part of the industry, but get that self-employment knowledge in your head.
Brilliant. Alison, you've been absolutely wonderful to talk to. Aww. And I hopefully people will find so much in that will serve as good advice to them and will help them. So thank you so much.
No worries. I suppose what I'd like to say is, if anyone wants to connect, if there are anyone's actors struggling out there, I'm always happy to chat to anyone. Maybe you could put up my Twitter. It's at Ali_Gator_. Always have, and if any students or anyone that would like some advice, I'm not the master by any means, but I'm always there to kind of maybe guide from a perspective of experience, you know?
We absolutely will do that. We'll make sure people know where to find you when this video goes up.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Lots of love.
And to you. So that was The World of Acting according to Alison Fitzjohn, and what a wonderful conversation it was. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback on these videos. We'd love to know what kind of areas of the arts you'd want us to find out about. We've had so far a voiceover actor and sort of a more traditional, I suppose, acting story. So let us know what kind of things you want to see going forward. Give us lots of feedback. And if you don't already, make sure you give Open for Theatre a follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere you can find us. I've been Ian from Open Theatre, and thank you very much.